My name is Nicole Unger. I'm the Activities and Recreation Coordinator here at Boundary Trails Health Center. I'd like to say I have the fun job around here. I get to bring patients to things like music, bingo, we do crafts. I have this awesome OB machine that projects different games onto a tabletop or floor. I get to do all the fun stuff around here. But truly, I have a great job, and I get to hang out with the volunteers, get to know them, get to know the patients. I have quite an awesome job here.
Excellent. Now, this is for the entire Boundary Trails Health Center, not specifically palliative care?
No. So there are times when patients that are in palliative care will come to the activities as well, but I cover the facility. So typically, my activities are on the rehab ward. Then if there are needs upstairs on the medical ward or MPU1, often the staff will let me know. I'll bring them to activities, or sometimes I'll bring an activity to their room if it's more of a one-on-one situation. Sometimes surgery's a little more rare that I'll go over there, but I have hung out with patients there. I have brought an activity to their room. I've brought them down to music. I've brought them to bingo. So really, we cover within the entire facility.
And part of this, I'm sure, would require volunteers to fulfill all of these roles.
Yeah, so I am very lucky. I have 4 volunteers right now that help me run my programs. I have someone that comes in for bingo. I have a number of volunteers that come in for music. I have people that help me decorate the ward for all the different seasons and holidays we have. So I am quite lucky. We even have volunteers that come in and help with our flower and garden beds on the rehab ward. So we're quite blessed that way.
How did you end up coming to be involved with BTHC?
Well, I'm an Ontario girl near Niagara Falls, and 5 years ago I moved out this way. Family in the area, so I've always known about Winkler Morden, quite liked the area and the pace of life. So I haven't regretted that move one bit. I love the area. And I was working in rehab services for the first 3 years, and an opportunity came up in the recreation program, and I thought that would be a very fun fit, very similar to some of the things I was doing as a rehab assistant. And yeah, I get to use the creative side of my brain. I get to hang out with the patients, get to know them better, and support their overall well-being while they're here.
I guess it's one of those roles too where no 2 days are the same.
No, it is very different. One day we're doing fun things like bingo, and the next day we're crafting, and then it gets to be nice out. Well, let's go outside and hang out, even if we're just sitting there chatting. And some days we're just having a coffee. It's getting to know the patients on a deeper level and what matters to them.
I'm sorry, did you tell me how long you've been doing this?
I've been in this role for the last 2 years.
Okay, so you've managed to have a bit of time to maybe develop a few memories. Any thought of anything that stands out over your years of doing this?
Yeah, I was thinking about that this morning, and I'm not sure that I have something that pops out in particular, but for me, I think what's really cool is watching the patient connections. When you finally get someone out of their room and you bring them to an activity and they're sitting around a table, I try to make it like a square, so everyone comes and meets each other and they're looking at each other. They're not way down the way trying to scream to their neighbor, but just the connections that they're able to make and see that they're not in this alone, while they're here for whatever they may be here for, that there is someone else like them or someone that's going to encourage them along the way to their next chapter in life.
It sounds fantastic. If you had a moment to give me your elevator pitch, why should someone volunteer for your department?
My volunteers, the things that they get to hear, the things that they get to see, they make meaningful connections with the patients. Like I said, they get to do some very fun things with the patients. They get to have some great laughs along the way. I know my volunteer Linda, who runs bingo every week, she always comes up with new stories that she hears from patients, or different connections, different ways they may be related, or just something she learned along the way when she asked questions in between each game of bingo. She's really good at facilitating those questions, and I think for her, she's getting back so much more than she is giving each week by coming to volunteer, but she just has the best stories from the patients. I mean, I have the recreation and activities program, but Jerry Ann and I also work together for the Greater Navigator program, which I know has been highlighted through some of the other interviews that you've had, and that's great. We're always looking for more volunteers, always make sure that everyone is trained there. I'm always looking for more volunteers with recreation, so that's just important to me for people to know that it's not a closed door. We don't just have enough volunteers. We always want more. We love to have you here in our facility, and the connections that you'll make with the patients are truly invaluable.